Welcome to today's lesson, which is about interpreting points on the coordinate plane. The goals of today's lesson are that you can explain what the points represent in a situation, and secondly, that you can plot points to represent situations and solve problems. So here we're asked to plot points to represent this situation. So the x-axis represents the number of hours before or after 8 a.m. So here on the positive side is going to be after 8 a.m. That's going in this direction. And on the left hand side is going to be the number of hours before 8 a.m. That'll be going in the left hand direction. And the y-axis represents temperatures in degrees Celsius. Temperatures in degrees Celsius, with positive above the x-axis and negative temperatures below the x-axis. So we're asked, what does the point 0, 0 represent? That's right here. So it means 0 hours after 8 a.m. So exactly 8 a.m. At exactly 8 a.m. And this is the x-coordinate, this is the y-coordinate. The y-coordinate is also 0. So that means that the temperature in degrees Celsius was 0. Temperature was 0 degrees Celsius. What does the point 7, 9 represent? And again, I will label them with the x and the y. And the 7, if I look at my note below the x-axis here, represents the number of hours after 8 a.m. So 7 hours after 8 a.m. That's at 3 p.m. because that's 7 hours after 8 a.m. The y-axis represents temperature. So the temperature was 9 degrees Celsius because the y-axis represents temperature in degrees Celsius. 9 degrees Celsius. And we're asked to graph the point that represents negative 7 degrees Celsius at 4 a.m. So I have to be really careful and decide which of these is represented by the x-coordinate and which is represented by the y-coordinate. So 4 a.m. is time, and so that is, if I look back at my graph, that's the x-coordinate. And negative 7 degrees is temperature, and that is represented by the y-coordinate. So my coordinate pair, my x value, 4 a.m. is how many hours before 8 a.m.? It's 4 hours before 8 a.m., so that'll be represented by negative 4 hours before 8 a.m. and the temperature will be negative 7 degrees, or was negative 7 degrees. That'll be represented by the y-coordinate. So I need to graph negative 4, negative 7. I'm going to use red. Negative 4 on the x-axis is here. Negative 7 on the y-axis is here. So I'm just going to draw some dotted lines down to here. Yes, that's it. So here it's negative 4, negative 7, and I'm going to erase some of my markings just to tidy up the graph. Negative 4, negative 7. So before graphing a point to represent a situation, stop and think about what the x-axis represents and what the y-axis represents, and then match the x and y coordinates of your pair to the axes so you don't mix them up. So today you saw and how to explain what the points on a graph represent in a situation, and you saw how to plot points to represent situations and solve problems. And that's the end of today's lesson.